What's up, everybody? This your boy Marcus Mooney, a.k.a. Moon the Poet.
And I'm your man, Professor Q.
Welcome
to Join Air.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? This your boy Moon the Poet, a.k.a. Marcus Mooney, or Marcus Mooney, a.k.a. Moon the Poet. I don't care how you introduce me. I'm here. I'm in the building, and I got my partner, Quaver Stern, a.k.a. Professor Q. What's up, man?
What's good, bro?
What's popping with you, bro? You good, man?
I'm good, man.
That's what I'm talking about. Man, there was some lovely college football here recently. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you got to partake in some of that, man, but it was some good games. Some good games.
I caught that. I caught a little bit of that Colorado game.
Wait, shout out to Dion.
Oh yeah, Prime, Coach Prime doing it, ain't he?
Coach Prime. You know what I'm saying? He been a Coach Prime. You know, I guess in so many ways, but now he's actually living up to the hype on a greater scale, and so it's good to see him doing this thing, man.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Much success to them boys. But anywho, man, I want to, I guess Coach Prime would be a good segue into kind of what we're talking about, and that's this segment that we'll have that will kind of fall in between some of the episodes. What we want to do is we want to highlight a lot of the guys out there who are fathers, man. We want to talk about fatherhood in the kingdom, and just get various fathers talking about their story, telling their story, and how they became fathers and what fatherhood means to them, and even their personal journey in fatherhood as far as some of the ups and downs.
Yes, sir.
Co-parenting, dealing with being a parent after divorce or after a separation or split. You know what I'm saying, as well as some of the tragedy and triumph that comes with fatherhood as well. So those segments will fall in between episodes here and there as we drop them, but it'll be an ongoing part of the Joiners experience, man. Fatherhood is so important. Am I not right, bro?
Oh yeah, man. Fatherhood I think it's one of the greatest responsibilities that God has given to a man. And just thinking about my own self and my own life, how much it molded me and shaped me into a better man, a better person.
Facts.
And just the responsibility of having these little people that came from me and having to take care of them and nurture them and discipline them when I have to, but still be in a loving manner.
Oh, man, bro.
And then, when you look at the community, you see a lot of kids without fathers in the home.
Yeah.
And, you try your best to treat them as if they your own, you know what I'm saying?
Facts. So, I had a former pastor, he used to call them little humans. He say, look at you, got your little humans with you. So yeah, I'm a little humans, but it's so important, and it's a need in our community, every community. Right. You know what I'm saying? But in particular, we get hit with all the sad, bad statistics. What I'm saying? Absentee fathers and all that good, bad stuff rather. And so, it reflects negatively on our communities a lot of times. And as it should, honestly, if we're not stepping up and being the fathers that we should, then we should see negative consequences from it. We're out of order as far as the kingdom is concerned. So that's what makes this segment near and dear to my heart, man. Because, we not only did we have some good fathers in our lives personally, but we know some good fathers who some of them didn't have the greatest examples, but they still doing their thing,
right.
And it speaks highly of God's presence in their life and their kingdom mindset when it comes to fatherhood. And I don't know none better to start with than my partner, man. This dude right here, bro, he was man, he was so influential coming up, man. Like, he was the big brother I never had. Like, I didn't have, my mom didn't have, because I'm the oldest.
Yeah.
So, when I came to high school, man, he was like, bro, put your stuff under my stuff. Ain't nobody gonna touch it. Everybody gonna bother. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? I got you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Put your stuff in my locker. You good. I got you. You know what I mean? And that's how he's always been, man. So, that's big brotherly, kind of fatherly, even, before he even realized what he was doing, at that point, man, just looking out for somebody that's younger than you and don't know what you know,
Right. Yeah.
And then on top of that, man, just watching him grow in God, he is the other half of Opai Media Group. He is one of the founding visionaries, and that's why I got where we got our name from, actually. Original purpose and intent is what Opai stands for.
Okay, yeah.
Getting back to God's original purpose and intent. And it is God's purpose and intent for men to be fathers.
That's right.
So this is my boy Michael L. Mobley, man. Doing his thing, talking about being a father, the ups, the downs, the ins and outs, and all the in between. Y'all check it out and enjoy. For those that don't know, this is my brother, man. I mean, I could I could say friend, but honestly, man, this has been a brother of mine for man, good gracious. Back in the day when I wasn't talking, when I used to just sit in the back of the room or the back of the car and just absorb everything around me, not saying nothing, scared to talk. You know what I'm saying? And this is one of the brothers who God placed strategically placed in my life, man, to help me come out of that shell, but for the right reasons and with the right motivation, you know what I'm saying? And I'm thankful for this brother for that, but so many other things, man, so many other ways he had my back through the years. I'm proud to call him a friend, proud to call him a brother, but also I am definitely glad to have him on this segment where we're talking about fathers, we're talking to fathers, because this man has been an example of a great father. And I got some great fathers around me that are just doing their thing, man, when it comes to the kids. None of us are perfect. We all learning and growing on the job. OJT at his finest, you know. But man, yeah, for facts. I'm thankful for people though that are stepping in and doing the do. And no matter what obstacles we have in the face or overcome, we in there. You know what I'm saying? And this brother fits that to a T. None other than Michael Mobley. That was a long intro, but Michael Mobley, welcome to Join Airs, my brother. You know what I'm saying? How you doing down in the A, man?
It's a pleasure to be on. Um, I'm good, man. That's always my go-to answer. I'm good,
No
fam. Let
doubt.
me say, first of all, salute to everything you're doing out here. Salute to your ministry, you and your wife's ministry. Salute to man, just being who you are, being a walking representative, being a visual for some people to see because a lot of people may not ever just pick up a Bible or something. So they'll look at your lifestyle, and that'll be the best representation of a Bible that they can get. So always a salute, always a pleasure to watch your growth. Like I say, man, maybe speaking of fatherhood, you did it early on in the game. So, and I watched, throughout the years. I ain't gonna put your business out there like that, but throughout the
Okay.
years, the things you went through, um, and still maintaining to be a solid father, man. So, man, big ups to that.
No
And
doubt.
so always ain't no backstory. Shoot, like what, 90s,
He was in the 90s.
late
It was in the
late 90s.
90s.
Um, yeah, I've never seen you not walk this walk with Christ and try to get close, even when we was teenagers. So it was kind of me being who I was and doing what I do. It was like, yo, it. I would say oxymoron for me because even though we rock solid, we was not bipolar opposite, but definitely in different lanes. And what I didn't know then, what it took me years later to find out, was that God was using you for me to see, all right, yo, a young, a young dude in your teens with a serious walk for Christ, man. So I always big that up, man. Like, that was seeds being sown in my life that I didn't know at that time because it took me probably a whole another decade to change it. Just what I'm saying, like say, all right, Lord, this, I, here I am. So always big ups to that, fam.
Man, hey, bro, I love how God did when He did what He did with our relationship, man. Because you was the big
Yeah.
brother that you know what I'm saying that I always wanted. Like, especially like we had a connection with the music, everything like that. That was cool, but it was just the fact that how you looked out for me, fam. You know what I mean? Like how you looked out for me was what I always envisioned a big brother doing and being for me, you know what I'm saying? Somebody like, cause I always looked out for my little brothers and cousins, everybody like that. But I had older ones that I looked up to. But the way you stepped into my life, man, the way God brought you in my life, bro, That thing, man. I've always tell this analogy. I've said it to a couple people, and it's a cartoon that used to come on where it was like a big old pit bull, and then it was the little dog that used to jump
Yeah,
around. You see, around it. Yeah, yeah. You know the joint. You know the joint.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how I was
Absolutely.
around everybody else. I was quiet, wasn't saying no reserve. But when I got around my big homie, man, it was like I was lit. Want to ask all the questions, want to figure things out, want to just, get in the music, do this, do that. And so, man, I'm just thankful that I had a brother who saw a little brother, little youngster, like, hey man, come on, man, come under my wing. I got you, bro. I
Yeah.
got you.
Well, not to cut you off. And then we'll get into wherever you want to go. With that, when I go down the timeline, I always gotta salute my big bro Keith.
Oh yeah, cuzzo, most definitely.
Even I met him in first grade, and then by way of him, I met you in I think I was about the fourth grade. We went to Carewinds.
Yep.
I think y'all had the Burgundy, the New Yorker.
Yep.
Yeah. So I met you then. He was a youngin'. Then fast forward to me and him being like seventh grade. He's like, yo, my little cousin be spitting because me and him we had our little version of crisscross. Yo, my little cousin spit. So he puts you on the phone like, hey, yo, what's up? Let me hear you. And start dropping balls. Only ball I remember from it, in mind you, it was like 92. You say you met somebody on the beach and you gave her a peach. And that's about all I remember. But so
that's the early poet, y'all. The early.
Yeah, so fast forward, gassing. I see him like, I know homie from somewhere. I say, yo, you more Keith's cousin? He's like, yes, all right, bet, word. Left it at that. Holly cute. I'm like, yo, man, your cousin go there. I say, yo, I'm gonna look out. He good money regardless. And that was the intro. Then he was beating on the floor one day, rapping. I'm like, yo, you spit it? All right, cool. So from that to then me and you took on our own entity, so to speak.
Yes, sir.
And then, which is divine is like you can't you can't figure it out. Sometimes you get 20/20 hindsight, be like, yo, okay, this was this. He was working this angle, and he was orchestrating it this way.
Facts.
So 89 rolled over to the 92, rolled over to 95, 96 to that just taking its own roots and doing this, and this. And you done been down many a paths. And so that being said, we can zone in the way we finna zone into, man.
No doubt, man.
But once on top of that, it's a blessing to watch, man. You take root, sprout, grow, be fruitful, and to just we chopping up about anything for like hours and it be feeling like 5 or 10 minutes.
Oh, easy, man. Easy. And you know what I'm saying? This is the other part of Opai, but I gotta say, man, that original purpose and intent, man, that initial vision came from a conversation that we had, and and a couple of car rides, and that even the name original purpose and intent, like that was you, that was God's vision to you, man. And,
well, once again, on the back story to that is accepting my walk. I just saw my pastor used to say. He always say, you know what I'm saying, you to bring the perversion is to deviate from God's original intent. So original purpose and intent was something that came from my pastor Yaakov Shelley, and I just ran with it.
No doubt.
When I was saying, and I was like, I abbreviated. And I was like, what that even spell? I was like, That's where Opai came from.
Yeah,
So
man.
I always got to give him his just due on that.
Shout out to
And
Pastor
then it
Shelley, definitely.
and then it just it was just it was no direction. It was I did a logo for it, the name. I know he was into the music, and so it was Opai Music, and then I always knew you know, it was it's much more to it as far as music, so it couldn't just be contained. So you know, it became what it became, and I thank God for you because you, even though I had it in here and I had it in here, I couldn't physically walk it out. Like I couldn't physically do stuff because I was out of touch with it. You know how this the technology how stuff works. That Ben quit trying to make music, you was still into a horse, so it just made sense. So once again, going back to the '80s, mid '90s, high school '90s, I report with the music, and then it just being you was more broader, like you was more so an entity of communication on a broad. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, most definitely.
So, and you know, musically, I was always everywhere. You know, it could be a Russian, it could be something Russian with the vibe
I remember that.
on the beat. You know what I'm saying? Then you hit me with a hang drum or something like that. I'm like, oh, that's my vibe. So that just took a whole nother lane. So Opai was, I say, for me to come up with, but for you to walk it out. You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Like Moses didn't make it to the promised land. I was on Joshua at that point. So you know what I'm saying? And each one teach one, iron sharpens iron. So it was never no man. I came up with it, but he gonna walk it out, and that ain't cool. I was like, nah, run that. Take it where I can't take it. That's how the kingdom should be, man.
All day.
So
all day. All day.
So once again, we're gonna try to get into what we're trying to get into.
Get into it now. We're gonna get into it now, man.
Yeah,
you know, it's history. There's a lot of history right here, man. So people gotta know it.
It's all night, man.
Most definitely. Well, look, man, we talking about fatherhood, man. And so the first thing that I want to do, man, is I want you to tell people about your little man. You know what I'm saying? He qualifies you to be an earthly father officially, man. So tell everybody about my little nephew, man.
Oh. My lineage, Colin Christian Michael Mobley. Dude, that's I might tell, but check it. What you never knew about me was I always wanted. When I was 15, somebody was like, "Yo, I'm pregnant." I was 15.
Boy, I would have been scared out of my shoes.
Whew. You know, the thing about it was, I was like, I bet, because I always wanted a kid. So I figured I'm 15. I was driving anyway. I said I had a legit license next year. By the time the kid born, I just get a little job, boom, 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 hold that down for the diapers, the pampers, go to college. Like I had it figured out.
So you was ready to just jump feet first.
Yeah, like, you know, at 15, games get played.
Right.
So, you know, that's 15. So, that ended up whatever. But like I said, I always wanted a kid, or family. I said I won't even say kid. I always wanted like family, wife, kids, blah blah blah. So that was on my ultimate list of life, like above trying to be a millionaire, above whatever career aspirations I had. It was always I want to be a father and family type of took me to about 36. So
yeah, a little delay on that dream.
And not for lack of trying, just I guess it wasn't that time.
Yeah.
So when me and his mom, when she told me, and the trip thing about it, I told her she was pregnant before she knew she was pregnant. Like, I'm, fornicating. So he had been telling me to stop, and then I remember, I'm asleep one night, and I had this dream, and I can't remember everything about it, but it's one of the dreams when you wake up, like, all right, it is what it is. He said what he said. You understand the dream for what it is.
Right.
Not trying to be super deep.
Right.
So I woke up. I was like, yo, you pregnant. She looking like, what? I was like, it is what it is. So she ended up telling me she was pregnant on actually on Father's Day that year of 2014. So bet. I'm like, bet. So now I'm like, all right. I'm super in. So at that point, I'm putting at least 80 hours a week trying to make everything straight, buying stuff that going overboard, just buying stuff. Making sure she's straight, making sure when he get here is legit. And I thought he was gonna be a girl at first, which is crazy, because all my cousins, nobody shot a boy out. So I'm like, well, yo, it's probably gonna be a girl. So I'm going through girl names and trying to figure out, what I'm gonna name her. So we go to. She was high risk, so we was going every Monday to the doctor, right?
Yeah.
So that's how we found out real early. So we in there. They like, yeah, you got a girl. I'm like, told you. Then the lady goes, psych, it's a boy. I'm like, yo.
That's a bad, cruel trick for a nurse to play.
All the names I had, I scratched off. I had to start from scratch. And a lot of people don't know the importance of a person's name. So when you name a person, so when you name them, what you're doing is you're pretty much calling their destiny. So anytime you call their name out, you calling their destiny based on what the name means.
Facts. Yes, sir.
So that's why, like, so it was real. I was real strategic in what I named, and I went overboard with that at first because it was.
I'm about to say, how many names did you have for him at first?
It took me a while to get the first name.
Yeah.
So, and I know I wasn't gonna name him after me because I got, I want him to have his own identity.
Yeah.
So I wasn't gonna name him a second or a junior. So it took me a while to get the first name. At first it was gonna be Emmanuel. And then I was like, nah. Then it was what was his other name? It was gonna be Emmanuel, and then it was gonna be I was gonna name him Elijah, and then I was gonna name him Emmanuel, and then
you had quite a few choices there.
Alan. It was gonna be Alan Michael. That was gonna be his first name, and then I don't know how I came up on Colin, man. And then, boy, it means from a victorious people. So I was like, all right, I got his first name. I wanted to be Colin. And then I started going way off. I started going Colin. And his real name is going to be Colin Emmanuel Michael Sean.
It's not enough room at the top of the paper, brother.
Yeah, it was what it was. It was going to be Colin Michael. It was going to be Colin, Alan Michael Emmanuel Sean Mobley. That was going to be his name. And my godmom was like,
nah. Shout out to godmama.
I was like, all right. So then it's gonna be Colin Michael Emmanuel Sean Mobley. And then his mom was like, so I settled on Colin Michael Christian Mobley.
Got you.
So I had that down, and then he's not here yet. like I said, he was real moved. He was real active too.
Mm-hmm. Still really active.
So yeah, but you know, it out here in the world active and in the womb was different because the umbilical that was getting wrapped around his neck. So
yeah.
You know, my first kid, I'm super panicky. I'm like, yo, and then the first time, this was interesting too. Like the first time when you go hear the ultrasound and hear his heartbeat, like I said, I've been working like 80 hours a week, so I'm a diabetic. So a couple days I skipped a meal, and that's just how I'm just running, working. I'm like, I'll eat in a minute. Don't eat, keep going. So I dehydrated. So I'm at the job before my shift start, dehydrate, boom, I drop. Ambulance come, take me to the ER or whatever. So in order to go back to work, I had to have a EKG.
Yeah.
I had to go to the cardiologist.
Right.
So I'm like, man, this on my mind is like, man, the first time I'm hearing my kid's heartbeat, I'm in the back of my mind, like, man, my heart, man, stop. So I'm thinking like, yo, I'm like, mind you, I ain't, you know, outside being a diabetic, I never fell out of nothing in my life. So I'm like, man, Lord, don't take me this early, man. Like, you know, before my kid get here, that's what's in my mind. So I'm like, yo, but I'm still going hard because, you know, so shook that off. You know, got back to my normal routine and just grinding it out. So time for him to come. We in the hospital, and they had induced it. So, but it was like you know, it was my first time, you know. So they had induced the labor, and she was like, it ain't working. So he's sitting in there. Her mom's a couple people that came by because she was in the hospital with him. So they leaving, and it's a whole bunch of like Church's chicken box. Not no shameless plug. They was eating chicken. So a bunch of like 2-piece Church's chicken boxes just scattered about the room. So I'm trying to clean stuff up. She making these crazy faces and noises. I guess labor pain. She's like, go get the nurse because this don't feel right. I feel like I'm having a kid right now. I know it's supposed to be contractions, but I was like, all right, cool. So I go get the nurse. She come in and she check my girl out. She like, yo, the baby like right here.
Oh, that Church's like, chicken.
Right. So it go from she like the baby right here. So she make a quick call and yell like about 4 or 5 doctors and nurses. Everybody rush the room like it's a SWAT raid. And I'm trying to get these chicken boxes and stuff out the way. So they coming in, I'm shifting and moving and they coming in, I do this like, so I got like a tray of old chicken bones in my hand, and the doctor like, Dad, get in here now. So I just dropped the chicken box.
Yeah, chicken box got to go.
I was going down like this right here. So grab a leg, she push, he just flop out like pow. And then, you know, like, so he flop out, she take the umbilical cord, come around his neck, but his face blew.
Good.
So for literally like about 2 seconds, my heart stops. I'm thinking like, oh man, my kid's stillborn. So she hit him, he coughed, start crying. I'm like, my heart go from my feet back up. I'm like, all right, my little dude is alive. So then she's like, you gonna cut the umbilical cord? I'm like, nah, go ahead. I'm just
right.
Do that, boom. So, and this was, and in 2020 hindsight, what I learned was, when you're a father and you see your child born, if or not but maybe 2 or 3 seconds, I think God let us experience what it feels like to be Him when it comes to Him creating us. Because at this one particular moment, when as soon as that kid come out, your whole mindset, your whole heart is like, at this moment right now, I would give my life for this.
Yes, sir.
This person.
Yes, sir.
To grow and develop, which is parallel to God giving His Son so that we can, you know what I'm saying,
Facts.
live a life of abundance.
Facts.
So I do think, not biblically proven, but I think like really He let us experience that particular situation to give us a small inclination of what it feels like to be Him in reference to us. So moving along, my mom come down that next day, spend the day, we leave the hospital. I drop my mom back up. Now this next part I'm gonna tell you is really, really the foundation of how I am with my kid now. So my mom come down, she catch Amtrak, spend the day, I take her back up, Caroline, call back down, I say, yo, you good? And her daughter pick up, she like, no, my mom back in the hospital. She's in the hospital. She's like, what? I think something wrong with my kid. So I called her and I was like, what's going on? She like, I'm at the hospital. I'm like, why you didn't tell me? Blah, blah, blah. She had preeclampsia, so her blood pressure shot up.
Shot up, yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, bet. I jump in the car. I probably made it from Carolina to Atlanta like record time. I probably made it in like an hour and 45.
Oh,
150.
man. Yeah, you had jets. You had jets.
I'm getting it. Get there. She in the ER. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it's like his second day of life. So he at the house. I'm like, yo. So they tell us, so they take her to this room and they like, so she like, yo, I just had a kid. So they like, I said, I'm gonna go get the kid. So I boom, go pick him up, come back. So he's sitting in this room and then they take us back to the maternity ward. But they tell us the only reason she get the maternity ward was because she had him with her.
Mm-hmm.
Now, technically, he had been born. They done did they due diligence and services of bringing him into this world.
Right.
So they tell us, you stay here as long as the kid here, and I couldn't leave the room. Period. So, and they was like, well, we technically can't get the kid service because we in here for you, but by default, God worked it out so cool because the room was super plush. And I was like, well, can I go? They like, if you leave the hospital, then you can't come back in, blah, blah, blah. So they gave us they gave us like a little box of formula milk. And I had somebody bring something to the door. I went downstairs, picked it up. And we was in there for like 5 days, yo.
Good gracious.
So now they made sure she was all right, but Colin was on me at that point.
Yeah.
So she couldn't do nothing. She laid up. So, like, I kid you not, them might have been 4 days. It was at least 4 because I ain't take a shower. Nothing had the same thing on. I had like a couple t-shirts and stuff, whatever. So, like them. Then I'm laying on the little hospital couch thing. He on my shoulder, but there's a little tray for him too. So, I got crazy pictures of that day too. Them first 4 days, it was just like I say, it was just me and him.
Wow.
So, like she couldn't do nothing. So it was. That's when I was like, all right, this father thing is. I'm locked in.
It's real talk. That's right. It's real talk.
I locked in. The first 4 days I locked in because, like, it was. I ain't getting no sleep. He was asleep, crying. I changed him. I had to wipe him, and it was a lot of times. And he was right here. He wasn't but about maybe 12 inches or whatever. So It was him on my chest, and I promise you, a lot of conversations with God, man.
Yeah. Yes,
and to this day, I really say God allowed me to be a steward over him. For he calms me down, but he's the reason I get real amped up and I may go left field. So he is a trigger and a balance.
Oh man.
So, which that rolls into it. And sometimes you can have your kid out of order too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like natural order is God, family, fatherly. At a certain point in his life, I think I had, and my godmother told me this, and I was denying it, like, nah, that ain't it. She was like, yo, you got him in an unhealthy spot in your life. Like, you pretty much got him as your God. I'm like, I ain't see it.
Yeah.
But because I was just making moves based on solely him and not what I know I should be doing, or I would try to come up with excuses of why doing what I'm doing, I would umbrella it under just trying to be a good father.
Mm-hmm.
Which 2010 hindsight, you're supposed to be a good son, if you get what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, most definitely. It starts there.
And then boom. So I definitely always thank her for that. But yeah, them first 4 days, man, that's when I just locked in. And I was like, all right, this is it. I'm locked in. It was the dopest feeling. And then what I realized was, if anybody know me or don't know me, like me and my dad, rest in peace. We had our relationship was our relationship. I can't really define it, but definitely not traditional. Definitely, definitely, like I used to visit my pops in prison at the age of 3 and so forth and so on. So a lot of stuff I learned. I never, you know what though, and I always say, man, I learned what not to do.
Yeah.
So people come and be like, yo, I had a father figure and I learned what to do from him. I just knew I didn't want to do this way because I knew as a child how certain things made me feel.
Yeah.
So as a man, I wouldn't want my son to feel certain ways that I felt,
right.
or see certain things that I've seen, or be put in certain situations that I was put in. And I also saw how it made my mom feel. And then, because he would, actions to me speak louder than words. My dad always told me he loved me. Don't get that twisted. He'd tell me that in a minute. It's just his actions didn't add up to what he was saying.
Yeah.
A lot to me. And I was like, you say this, but you do this. I don't see you, blah, blah, blah. Boom. So I just knew what not to do. I knew how not to treat my child, or how to, I knew how to be in my child's life based on the void that I had. And then at one point, I was not comparing myself to my dad, but I'm like, well, yo, I'm already a better father than he was, based on black X, Y, Z, boom, boom, boom. But where I missed it at was, it was not about comparing myself to what I didn't have. It was about being what I'm supposed to be for my child.
That's right. That's right.
And so it took a minute to understand that. So when I understood that, because a lot of stuff like me personally, not speaking to nobody else. Like I did a lot of stuff with my kid based on what I didn't have sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We all get there, I think, sometimes. You know what
I mean? First party went crazy overboard. He won. Just learned to walk probably 3 weeks before his party. I'm trying to get private photographers and all this other crazy stuff. So, and it was just, and then making up for it, because I was working a lot too, so I would try to make up for, not, well, I mean, at early stage, me and his mom, we had it running like a smooth machine, because I would work a certain amount of hours. Then when I get off, it was never like no more than like maybe an hour downtime where he wasn't with either one of us.
Yeah, yeah.
So, that I thank God it worked out like that. We was able to kind of maneuver like that in the beginning, and then I just got caught in my rhythm of just working, providing. Um, Everywhere I went, he was with me regardless, outside of work. And then it was just a pleasure, man. Like watching him grow.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Just from crawling to walking to their little interest in the earliest stages, and then 8 years sprout by. He's like a little he's like a little adult. You know what I'm saying? Personality.
Yeah, man.
This, that, and the thing. But it's been beautiful, man. It's every day, man, is sometimes a constant reminder, like what I need to do to take him to where he needs to be. And I'm not talking about like as a lot of people just groom my kids like, okay, we got to make sure they go to good schools, get good grades, to be this, this, this. But I'm talking about instilling in him character and morals to aid him in becoming the person that God has him to be. And that's what we missed the most. We kind of miss it and be like, well, yeah, be better than me, but be the person you're supposed to be.
And to me, those two things go hand in hand. Like if I'm able to raise my kids to be who they supposed to be in God, they're going to be a better version of whatever they're going to be than me, because they're in a time frame beyond me, so they supposed to excel and take it further. Exceed rather. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but when sometimes we don't have an understanding that, so what we do is we try to propel our kids to just be better. And if you was an athlete, you missed it. Oh man, my kid got this, so let me put all these resources in, make sure he go pro and this, that, and the third. And you kind of miss the mark sometimes. I'm not saying you shouldn't develop your kid as an athlete. I'm just saying develop their character and their sense of morals, more so than everything else, because that's what's going to sustain them, man.
Facts. Seek ye first the kingdom. That's in everything. You know what I'm saying? Even in how we raise our children, like I'm looking for the kingdom in me first, trying to make sure that I'm lining up, but then I'm looking into my kids and I'm trying to find the kingdom connection. Like, God, what do you want me to do for them? And then who are they as far as you're concerned? Because that's the identity that I need to invest in. And it may have something attached to it, whatever gift, talent. I mean, that's great. You know what I'm saying? But overall, God, who did you put these people here? Because you gave me a charge as a father to make sure that I look out for them and make sure that I provide and make sure that I'm there. So I got to make sure I'm doing my job right. So the best thing I could do is try to make sure that I connect with you so that I can understand how to be the father that I need to be to put them on that path, because say there's a way that they should go. You know what I'm saying? You show it to them. When they're older, they won't depart. So I'm trying to show them that way, but I got to make sure I connect with God to find that way first. You know what I'm saying? And get out my own fields about stuff, because like you say, we can have our own path for them. You know what I mean?
And misunderstanding, we just a steward at the moment.
Yep.
And they just look like you and got your last name, but you got to give them back to him.
Always.
Because he got his.
Always.
So, yeah, man. So, and then even the you know what I'm saying, the further on that, man, what I probably should have started off was, man, it's very vital, man. Anybody out there single, man, look at, man, for y'all start thinking about jumping in, getting families and all that, man, be selective and be strategic about who you have a kid with. Because, first of all, come to understand your assignment, what God got for you, what He's called you to be, what you're supposed to walk in. and your spouse should be pretty much calibrated to aid you in that, and you aid them, and y'all walk on one unison. And like a lot of times, once again, my life, I would go for what I saw in a person, and not what God needed, or what I needed from a person based on their own walk with Christ to fulfill and aid me in what I had to do. And a lot of times, what we mess up is we don't know what we're here to do, and you just out here just trying to do your own thing and figure it out, and then you do something, and then you ask God to be in the midst of it, as opposed to just listening to Him.
Facts.
Let Him lead you, and then which this is me, and that's no disrespect to my kid's mom, great mom. That's just we kind of. I wanted what I wanted. I didn't. It was no. You know what I'm saying? Ask seeking God's face about it. It was. I wanted what I wanted, and in the midst of it, a child was conceived, and we jump in the fight and ask God to help, man.
Cover me,
turn the heat. Yeah, turn the heat down a little bit. Hey man, just work this out and blah blah blah. Instead of just saying, hey man, I'm prepping you for this. Be consecrated until I say do this. And you move off the flesh, man. You're gonna reap what comes with. Yeah.
I mean, that's just cold hard facts, man. I can attest to that myself, man. You know what I'm saying? Ran into some bad situations, but I had to one day look at the common denominator. You know what I mean? And God was like, yeah, common denominator is you. So why are you the common denominator in these bad situations? I need you to allow me to get you on the path that you should have been on in the first place, but you wanted to go ahead and do what do it how you wanted to do it. You know what I'm saying? So,
Exactly. And there's no knock to Mom. She's a great woman. It's just, we was like oil and water.
Yeah.
Oil ain't bad, water ain't bad. They just don't mix.
Yeah.
And that's just what it was. And then, I got caught up in I think we both did, as far as getting caught up in the
trying to be family. You know what I'm saying?
Trying to force a relationship to work for the sake of a kid.
Yep.
Because you don't want to see him. I never wanted to see him like, because he grew up so much like normal. I use that word a lot with parents in the house. He used to trip me out because I'd be at work, and he'd call me like, "What's up, man?" He like, "Yo, where you at?" I'm like, "I'm at work." He like, "But yeah, you supposed to have got off." And like this time, I'd be like, well, "I gotta get to the parking lot, crank the car up." Like I don't just clock out and then walk through the door. So that was normal for him.
Yeah.
Whereas me, it was weird to see my dad knock on the door or something like that. I'm like, yo, bro.
Yeah.
So you don't you kind of we kind of I believe just and we did 9 years.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it was ups and downs.
Yeah.
A lot of breakup, a lot of getting back together, a lot of trying to figure it out, a lot of trying to hoping the other person change or hoping we change and grow in the same direction. And it just even at some point when your kids get old, they'll see that y'all not happy. Boom boom and so
and that's important. That's important, man. Like I think sometimes the pressure can come either way. The pressure can come from a situation like yours where you like, I want to give my kid what I didn't have. And then the pressure can come like it came from me where I wanted to give my kid what I did have. You know what I'm saying? Because I had that father figure who was a kingdom man, you know what I'm saying? and gave us that example. He was in the house with us. He was a provider. He was there. He made it work in relationship. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted that so bad, but I went about it the wrong way, and I was trying to force that round peg, that square peg into that round hole. You know what I'm saying? I was like, it's gonna fit. It has to fit. You know, even though I had already done the wrong things. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm telling God, like you said, oh, now that the fire's here, I need you to deal with it. You know, and the whole time he was wanting to deal with me, but I'm wanting him to deal with my circumstances that I'm creating myself because I could not see beyond what I grew up in. I was like, no, there's no way. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how bad this is. We're going to make this thing going to work out. You know what I mean? Because it's got to, because I can't have my kid in another house. It wasn't me. That's not going to be them. So it was an extreme adjustment to have to come to the realization that, okay, this actually might have to be the best thing right here, because otherwise I'm raising my child in a toxic situation. Whereas if we can at least get to a point to where this person can be them and I can be me, and then we can both be peaceable and have an understanding. Okay, now we can at least co-parent and give our kid the best opportunity to have a semblance of family, even though it's not the same thing that I grew up with, but it's still my father's in my life, my mother's in my life. You know what I'm saying? And they get along together and they doing the right things by me. You know what I'm saying? So it was tough though. It was tough, man. It was tough.
And a lot for me, it be soulish ties, like like I love the way she looked. I love, like, when we was riding the highway, everything was beautiful. Like, I like how we look together, vibe together, laugh together, and we hung out. But it's just when certain realities kick in, like that, we just, you got certain concrete foundational things that you want out of certain relationships.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't get them, then everybody's different. And that's the thing. Like, mine probably different from hers. We had a couple of similarities, things that we wanted in common and goal wise, but then there's like so much other stuff, and then just dynamics of how I'm with other people and dynamics of how she's with other people. Not like relationships, relationships, but not like interrelationships. Just like different dynamics with other people in her life and me too as well. And then trying to mesh it all together sometimes just don't work.
Facts.
You got so much, I say love, and then I will say soulish ties and soulish connections to a person that he's like, yo, I want this to work. I'm going to make this work.
Mm-hmm.
And you be delusional thinking like if you do X, Y, Z, then it will produce the results you want. And then life just don't work like that.
And God, the kingdom does not work like that.
Exactly. You trying to approach it as a chemistry set, and and you mixing the wrong elements, and you just don't know it at the time.
I mean, so when you start that thing and you're writing checks on an account that only has flesh in it, you know what I'm saying? Like the spirit is not built up. So, you writing bad checks is what you're doing. And after a while, you're going to see that, especially if you really are trying to be in tune with God and actually have a relationship with God, man, that flesh thing run out quick. You know what I mean? Because the spiritual, that's what's going to sustain you. And if you don't build that in the beginning and you build it on the flesh, then like you say, you start running into life situations that flesh can't handle.
Yeah, and with me, where I'm at now at 43, man, I have to always think about my situation with my ailment or whatever. If it goes far left, like if I do go blind, if I do lose a limb or two or whatever, with a person that I said I want to spend the rest of my life, walk with me through that. life cool when, you know, money coming in, you go on vacations, or you just here eating out, dining, whatever. But when life, when I say life, when perils of life hit you, because no person is immune to the ups nor the downs.
Facts.
Like that person walks you side by side, and right now I'm in the mindset of until till I got a full control on, you know, till I'm really living my life a little bit better and more responsible, meaning eating super properly, exercising, making sure I'm doing X, Y, and Z. I can't honestly invite anybody into my life to say, hey, I want to share my life with you because I'm sharing this burden as well.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean? And I don't want to put that on nobody, knowing that I'm not doing everything I'm supposed to be doing to make it not so much of a burden when it comes to a point, or if it comes to a point where, yeah, well, I'm just physically down or mentally down and emotionally down. So, and I gotta look at my, and I have to ask myself, yo, am I in a position mentally, emotionally, spiritually to take on somebody else's burden if they in a situation like
Mm-hmm.
that? You know what I'm
Facts.
saying?
Facts. It go the other way too. And as a father,
Yeah.
man, like, you know, I want to point out how how much respect I have for the statement that you just made, but also how profound of a statement it is. You have to have a whole lot of respect for yourself and then for your kid as a father to look at yourself like that, to examine yourself like that. Even as a child of God and say, man, listen, there's a certain place that I need to be in before I even try to be somebody's husband. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's the
Yeah.
same lens that honestly to the youngins out there who hadn't started this journey yet, especially those of us who are out there, those of you, let me say, who are out there who are men of God. That's the same lens that you should evaluate things from even before you become a father. If we just keep it a buck, you know, am I ready to be somebody's father? You know what I'm saying? So having things in the order of God the way that they need to be, not that God can't do what he do because that's what makes him who he is. He can take our mess and he can make miracles out of it, right? What you know what the enemy meant for bad, and you know, and all the scriptures that point to the fact that God can come in our mess and still make blessings out of it. But is that what we want? No, we don't want that. We actually want to come into
Yeah.
the thing the right way by putting the kingdom first and having the right mindset. So even with you have gone through what you've gone through, and now you at a point in your life where you're able to take a step back and say, let me make sure that I get in the proper place. Yeah, I want love. Yeah, I want these things, you know, for my child, all these different things. But let me make sure first and foremost that I am doing the proper things that I need to be doing in order to line that up so that when that person comes in, they're getting what they supposed to get in a man of God.
Yeah, that's true. That's very, very valid. And I also like to say, man, even though we didn't work out, I still give his mom a lot of credit because you ain't gonna like everything about a person. You're not gonna agree with the way a person handles everything. It's like she's not gonna agree with the way I handle certain things. I will say, from a parent perspective, she A1. I definitely say that, and you can just tell by the way he liked to be around and this, that, and the third. And we, even though we don't co-parent as well as I like us to, like we freshly, through the ups and downs, plenty of breakups, get back together, breakups. So just realizing we keep falling out about the same type of stuff, none of us. So it's you know, and then recognizing that, trying to figure out the best way that we can co-parent, because you can't cookie cutter this stuff. You can't do certain things like X, Y. You can take examples from other people
Mm-hmm.
and you say, okay, let me see if that works. But ultimately, you got to find the best way for you, whoever you with. If the relationship goes, you know what I'm saying, right? that y'all can co-parent. And so far, we've been doing. There's always room for growth. And with me, I always say communication is the first thing.
Oh yeah.
That you should do.
Bottom line.
You know what I'm saying?
Bottom line.
Like open communication, like mature communication.
Bottom line.
You know what I'm saying? That'll navigate you through a lot of turmoil. But back to what I was saying, like I give her credit. She's a great mom. We just wasn't right for each other.
Yeah.
So in anything, the dumbest thing I always say dumb. The dumbest thing I ever had up here was if I do have a kid with anybody, to make sure it's a person that if I'm not around, meaning if I get called home early, that I can rest easy that my kid gonna be okay, and not be, you know what I'm saying, out here in crazy situations.
Right.
So I give her the utmost respect and credit for that. And like I said, we just didn't work out. We made a beautiful child together, and now he 8, so I can't, like I think now is one day I'm gonna have to introduce him to somebody that like, hey man, I'm gonna be with this person, and I'm gonna have to bring them into the dynamics, and I'm thinking way ahead because, like I said, I'm definitely gonna just be chilling for at least a year, just to, just
build yourself,
get reacclimated.
Yeah,
just get, get reacclimated to who I am, who God made me to be, and
facts.
what I supposed to do. I lost, putting on different layers in life. I lost a little track of certain things that I knew, and you put on weight, you got to tone up. So that's spiritually too. When you put on a lot of weight, you got to tone back up, and
that's right.
Do the work, man.
That's right. The one thing I can attest to with my wife, man, is that whenever that situation becomes the right situation, it just flows. You know what I'm saying? I
love y'all, man. Like watching your different marriages, and I won't say you got it wrong. The other ones. I'll
say it.
Okay, but I'll say yo, if y'all were maybe y'all even look alike. Sometimes it's creepy. So, man. And knowing who she is and the type of person she is, I won't say you had to go through everything you went through to get to her. I'm gonna just say I'm thankful to God that everything you've been through, that you actually did find your path to her, because y'all operate in what a fruitful marriage should be, which is marriage is ministry. And I tell people a lot of times, like, don't look at people that, because a lot of people are like, oh man, I ain't gonna get married because people get divorced and blah blah blah. I say, well, stop looking at those people. Look at people that make it. And I can be honest, the first set of married people I've seen that I can say I understood when people say marriage is ministry, my pastor and his wife. And there was a few other people around the church. A.P. Brown, his wife, A.P. Rivers, his wife, a guy named Michael Jackson, his wife, who was a minister, Minister Olympia. And I just started focusing on, like, yo, with all this stuff that everybody, and a lot of people, what people mess up is they look to celebrities too much.
Oh yeah, definitely. That stuff ain't even real.
So then they're a power couple. Then they divorce. So, and then because you idolize man, you feel let down when humans do human things. So as opposed to looking at this the demographic and statistics of those who don't make it. Focus on people that you say, yo, well, they doing it, so it's possible.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
So once again, and y'all fit that mold, and even further into my hobbies because you connected from back then. So everything you've been through was like, yo, I hate it going through this, blah, this, and this, and this. So to see how y'all rocking, y'all smiling. Like I tell you all the time, man, y'all embody a whole nother aspect of what Opai really is, to the point where y'all was Opai was meant for you and her to run it however y'all run it. I came to name him, I back up, do your thing. Y'all embody Opai
Oh
from
man, you
what it
always
means.
you always in there though, bro. You always in there, man. Always.
So
You know what I'm
I
saying? It
like
is
to be
what
in the
it is.
stands clapping.
It is
I
what
like
it
to be
is.
in the stands clapping, man.
You know?
I mean, the person that designed the Air Jordan shoe, he just let Mike put it on and do Mike's thing. Let Mike do his thing in the shoe. And he get to sit back and clap for that. And that's how it should have been. That's how it always should be. So yeah, man, just from a person to be able to, look into your life, like I say, man, look at your life, and y'all very transparent. It's beautiful, man.
Man, listen, bro, I
It's
was right. I was right where you
beautiful.
are, man. And all glory to God because just as what you're doing right now, that self-evaluation, which is so important to really for every kingdom man, you know what I'm saying, to have that self-evaluation, that self-reflection, and be honest with yourself. You know what I mean? Real talk, self-accountability. Like be honest with yourself. Say, okay, this is where I am. These are the reasons why. These are the things that I need to work on, and let me connect with God the way I need to so that I can get from here to where I need to be. And I was right in that same spot, man. And like I said, all glory to God because He allowed me to see myself first and all the issues and things that that I needed to deal with that I hadn't dealt with that I was just smoothing over, just trying to do life or trying to maneuver, do relationship, all that, and then finally for him to be able to help me identify, like you say, my wife, man, to be able to see her in the light that I was supposed to see her. You know what I mean? And then want something greater for my children. Once again, going back to fatherhood, man. You know what I mean? Like, okay, my ideal situation didn't pan out because of XYZ, ABC, or whatever. But now I was in a position to where, okay, but you still gotta trust God. You know what I'm saying? And you still need to get where you need to be when it comes to the Father. So I had to get there and trust him. And then I started to see him make moves. Even before I met my wife, I saw him making moves, first in my heart and then in my situations and everything. And I'm like, okay, I see you moving. I'm trusting you. He's like, yeah, but this time I need you to understand. I don't need you to look to the left or the right. I need you to stay focused. You know what I mean? And I got so focused, I even got scared. I told my wife, I was like, look, we just gonna be friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I even said one time, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna get married again. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was that crazy. But I knew that I wanted whatever God had for me, you know what I'm saying? And I wanted to be the man of God that I need to be first for my, my kingdom, destiny and everything like that, but then also for my children. And then when he finally allowed me to see her, like really see her spiritually, you know what I'm saying? Not just, okay, she fine and she post stuff on the wall and she pray, but now like really see her. I was like, oh my goodness. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. You know what I mean? And then when I tell you the flow, has been what it is from there, man. So I commend you once again for coming to this point in your life, man, where you having that moment of self-reflection as a man of God, but also as a father, trying to give your kid everything that you want your kid to have, but understanding that that might look different than what you had in mind at first. You know what I'm saying? But it's okay. It's all right because God is still in control. He's still in the driver's seat. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And your kid is still going to get the best version of a father that he needs to get when it comes to you because you're connected to be the best version of yourself in the father that you can be. So that's big ups, fam. Real talk.
Bless, man.
For sure. Man, hey, I enjoyed this, bro. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real.
What?
Huh?
We done?
Man, hey, we been going about an hour, so yeah, we better wrap it up. You know what I'm saying?
It's like talking on the phone, but on FaceTime to
Yeah,
me, man. So
yeah.
I've been doing a whole bunch of stuff, but I feel we part two it up one day or
We
something.
got to. We got to, man. You know what I'm saying? You covered a lot, man, in just telling your story. So I really didn't even have to ask questions, man. Like you gave words of wisdom and advice to the generations coming up, man. But just by being transparent, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Man, like a lot of people want to be looked at as perfect, but they don't make mistakes. Anybody that give you their wins and never give you their losses, I don't want to hear you.
Don't trust it. Facts. Don't trust it. You
You
know
know,
what I'm
I
saying?
think you just be transparent to the point where even if it make you look bad, the truth is the truth.
Facts.
So you can't. You can lie to people, but there's no need to lie to yourself. So you know,
Keep it real. Be honest.
out there, you know,
Yeah.
and everything ain't always everybody else's fault. And, a lot of people will, well, such and such was this and such was that. And you be like, well, what was your role in it? Oh man, I was good, and nah, I'm flawed as well. I'm human, so I can't blame everything on her. You know, like I say, oil and water just didn't mix. Certain elements you know, just don't go together. Baking soda and vinegar causes a fizz, so you know. Yeah, so it was definitely. I don't want nobody to be like, oh man, what kind of woman was she? She cool. I had my issues too, so And then the thing about it is, you are when you at a certain level of maturity spiritually, not even you super high or whatever, it's wherever you at,
Mm-hmm.
and the things you do know, and if you disregard it to make another person feel comfortable, or you go, so you should never, wherever you are, if God got you here, you should never come down here.
Mm-hmm.
I always challenge this person to come up here and meet you.
Mm-hmm.
Now you could come, and if I say come down, you could relate to people on the level that they at, but never bring your character and the things God has instilled in you thus far down.
That's right.
And did I do that? Of course. Not to say that she didn't have a relationship, this, and the third. It's just certain things I knew a little more in depth than she did. And but once again, the flesh went what the flesh went.
Mm-hmm.
So you tend to overlook. We tend to overlook the flags that we
Mm-hmm.
see because we want the end result that we want.
Mm-hmm.
And
And I'll
so
even
yeah, just
throw
all.
I throw this out there too, fam, real quick as we wrapping up, man. I'll throw this out there too, man. Sometimes we don't realize just how important it is to God as far as once again order. You know what I mean? Like you can be on this level spiritually and they can be on the same level, but if it's not in order, if you're not qualified to be that person's spouse, then you're out of order. You're not qualified.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
so you're trying to make something work that you're not qualified to do. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
that's why we gotta once
absolutely.
again seek him first. You know what I mean? So that way he can balance those things out. Cause it may be that you need for whatever he has for you. It might be that you need to run into somebody that's a little higher than you. But when y'all connect because you both qualified for the position, you actually elevate and it won't even be a struggle. It'll be okay, boom, it's gonna cause you to come up. You know what I'm saying? Want to come up, have the desire to come up. You know what I mean? Because it's
Yeah,
order. You know what I'm saying? It's order, and it's important
yeah,
that we do it that way because when you go with the flesh qualifies based on based on things that once again will not sustain you when you really going through life. You feel me? So you want to do it, God's way, kingdom way, because that's the best way. And then, everything lines up from there. You know what I'm saying?
And make sure and hurting people hurt others. So make sure before you even if you spiritually heal, make sure you healed on the things that hurt you, because you would just roll it over to the next person.
That's part of being qualified.
Like,
yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Yes, so it's things that I've come to realize that I was scarred, and just putting up walls and layers of defense mechanisms. I'm not gonna let a person get close to me like that or hurt me in this area. So you come off a certain way, and you try to justify it, but now you just hurt, man. You haven't been healed in that area, man. So
and
I could just. Yeah, God.
I didn't even want to admit my stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he hit me with certain things in scripture that I didn't even realize it was a struggle. It's like, yeah, you shouldn't think more highly of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Than you are. Don't think more highly of yourself than you are to. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm a humble brother. I ain't got no issues with that. Like, you think you're good, but you're not. You know what I'm saying? So you thinking you more highly of yourself than you should. You know what I'm saying? Not taking the time to realize that, yeah, you got some stuff you need me to heal. I need to come in and fix. You don't need to take that into another situation and think you're gonna be all right. How does that worked out for you so far? Oh man, God had I gotta be real. It hadn't worked out. Yeah, exactly. And it's not gonna work out in the next situation either. So allow me to come in and put you in the position that you need to be in, so that you can recognize the things that you need to recognize within yourself first. Let me fix that. You know what I'm saying? And then you become more qualified to actually, okay, now I'm ready to step into the role to actually be somebody's companion and, husband, priest of the home, you know what I'm saying? Provider, like, all these things. And then be the father that I wanted to be. It's like, man, you are a representation of me. Do you not understand that? You know what I'm saying? There's a standard that is so high that you cannot fulfill it on your own, which means you need to seek me so that I can help you to fulfill it, because otherwise you're going to be trying to do it within yourself and you're going to fall short every single time. But if you actually trust me and connect with me and let me show you how to be me, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't do it on your own. So let me show you how to be me. Then I got you, and I will take you to a level that you would not be able to go on just within your own self. Yeah, there are a lot of brothers out here, sisters too, that have certain successes, but they have certain struggles and failures too when it's not done in order with God taking the lead. You know what I'm saying? So for us in kingdom, we got to realize what we have in the Father and let him play his role. You know what I'm saying? Let him play his position, man. And so we at a place now in our lives where I'm so thankful that we finally see that, and we're allowing him to get on the chessboard and move the pieces right. You know what I'm saying? And getting out of our own heads with it. You feel me? And our own feelings as well, and really just allowing him to take the lead, take the reins. You know what I mean? Best for our children and everything. You know what I mean? But anyway, bro, we got to wrap it up, man, because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen is we're going to keep talking. It's going to be another hour. But, man, listen, bro, you already know I love you, man. I appreciate you, man. You know what I'm saying?
You know that.
Love my little nephew Colin, man. So he playing football now. He's got his ninja situation going on. That brother, y'all, for the audience, I gotta let y'all know my little nephew is dangerous already. That brother is crazy already with the nunchucks, all that. Like for real,
man.
For real.
I never. Oh man. Are he gonna play on you? Or you gonna just keep him in rec?
Who Kingston?
Yeah,
man, I don't know, man. I just gotta see. Like we talked about earlier, man. I ain't trying to push nothing on him, but I am trying to push him to be whatever it is he say he wanna be or gonna be. Okay, all right. You say you wanna be something, I gotta show you the method to get there. You know what I mean? But otherwise, man, hey, we'll see. So we'll see. We'll see how depends on what kind of work you want to put in. Cause I told him AAU, that's a whole different level of work. You know what I'm saying? Rec ball, that's fine. You can play that. You know, that's cool. You know, but AAU.
NYC AAU ready, man.
I mean, I think he definitely can do some stuff, but he got to put in some work though. Like I told him, you got to. I say them AAU kids, they working on their game, brother. You know what I'm saying? They ain't just going out putting up a couple shots and then going in the house. Like, nah, man. You know what I'm saying? They ready. Them boys ready. So we'll see.
Got the right resources, man.
Yeah.
So whenever he cross that threshold, he gonna go full fledged, man.
Yeah.
Big ups to that, man. So you got what? You got 3 ballers, don't you?
Yeah, well, yeah. Kylan is trying to. This his senior year, so he trying to make the team. You know what I'm saying for his senior year, and shoot, man, he just did he had his best season for his rec ball this past summer, man. He's only been playing for like 4 years now, man. So I'm very proud of him, the growth that he showed in that amount of time. You know what I'm saying, working, doing his thing, getting ready for college, man. He already got his path. You know what I mean? As far as, seeing where he want to go with things with his life, you know what I mean? So definitely a man of God already. And I love that about him, of course, more than anything else, You know what I mean? The way he talks about God, you can tell that his relationship, and the questions he asks and all that. So very proud of the kid, man. And of course, my daughter Kinley, the other one, she like to play ball too. But Kinley's my wild card, man. She an artist. She like to play ball. She say she want to rap like daddy. You know what I mean? Like she might do it all. Right. Yeah.
That's what's up, man. It's a blessing to have kids, man, and just watch them grow and be around them and help develop and guide them, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
tremendous blessing.
You know what I'm saying? Boy, let them be them and not project what you want them to be or try to project you on them.
Facts.
That's beautiful, man.
It is, man. It really is, man. Cool. All glory to the Most High. Well, man, look, bro. Last salutation. But
before we go,
what's up?
Let me give a shout out to your my big bro, your cousin Marquise. Great dad, man. I've seen him go from we'll go there. But he got a 1-year-old and a newborn. And
and he got a grown man too. So
he got a grown man and he got like a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old. He started all the way over, man. But just to watch him with the last two.
Yeah.
It's been beautiful, man.
Most definitely.
For me, him in that space that he in, man.
Most definitely,
man. But, we can salutations now, fam. We should do this more often, though. This is pretty therapeutic. It's beautiful, man.
Most definitely.
It embodies what I saw Opai being when I was making that Mark Moon mixtape artwork. I was like, Opai should be so much more. The technology wasn't around.
Yeah.
But this is pretty much an entity of what I always knew it was supposed to be, man. So once again, thank you for listening to God for that, letting him direct your order and your steps, man.
Always.
And because it's the same feeling as when I used to make a beat and you would spit on it and bring the beat to life. So I get the same feeling when I see you do something from a different entity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Artistic and visualized, like a video or documentary or podcast. It's the same feeling as when I used to make a beat. I used to go, hey, come to the crib and spit on something I just made. And you spit and then you will amplify. Your voice will amplify the instrument that I had and lay it in the beat. So when I see this or whatever else you got going on, it's just like it amplifies where my mind was at in 08.
Yeah, word.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So man, I could never really tell you how much it is a blessing to be able to just see it.
Yeah.
Because in life, man, you God can give you a vision sometimes. It's just for you to kind of write it down, and it's gonna outlive you, so you may not see the, you know what I'm saying, the actual progression of it, or when it gets to its height. I was able to take what he gave me, say, yo, this is this, and you just ran with it, and I get to watch it go boom, 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 and it's beautiful because I know I couldn't have did it. My limitations was just like, Opai, what you think, and then you boom, 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 and it's just been a blessing to watch, man.
Man, every ingredient important, brother. You got to know it, man. So I tell everybody, I said that man, y'all don't know how big of an impact of that he's making on Opai, even without being in front of the camera or even behind the scenes with certain things, but just the fact that how it started and then how you are, you know what I'm saying, with conversations we have, you always make yourself available for a brother. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have you. I gotta have people like I gotta have my wife. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have my mom even. You know what I'm saying? The people that my pastor. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Yeah, definitely, man. It's a core of people that make it happen.
Let me note this right here, because we were speaking of relationships. Even in the early midst of whatever Opai was, when you and your wife linked up,
it went to
and she
another
started
level.
doing her thing,
it went to another level.
It went to a whole nother level. So
yes, sir.
That's like the whole other side of which is ministry and itself. So man, like I said, man, it's been a pleasure, man, and just a blessing to watch, man. Like truly, man. Again, I thank you. If I never say, yo, I appreciate you. Thank you just for taking whatever I had in my head and in my heart, and you just actually physically making it all pop off and happen, man.
Man, yeah, bro.
It's beautiful, man.
Appreciate it. Salute to my big bro. You know that always, always.
Yeah, so
on
that note, how we introed it, beloved, be blessed, peace.
Love.
We're gonna outro. Love. Be blessed. Peace.
Peace, my dude.
Y'all, peace.